Hey, this is Kevin with Pork Pie Hatters. Today we're going to talk about different crown shapes for your head. Now, the crown is the top part of the hat. This part here is called the brim. Generally, a hat has a brim and a crown. Most hats do. Okay, what you can do is you can change the shape and the look of a crown to suit your needs. It'll give it different styles. It'll make it look like a cowboy hat or a gangster hat or a rock star's hat or a safari hat or a jazz singer's hat or somebody on the Lower East Side playing a saxophone or it's all the vibe that you want to go for. And it also has a lot to do with your face, your height. Certain crowns are high, certain are low, and they're not all going to work for all sizes and shaped people and faces. So what we're going to do today is go through, at least a dozen crown shapes. I'm going to show you quickly how to do it and just kind of explain a little bit about each one. Okay. Now, firstly, a lot of people these days like open crown. Open crown means basically no shape in it at all. It's just open, like an umbrella. There's no creases, there's nothing dented or squeezed or flattened or anything. This is open crown. A lot of hats start out this way before they become creased or shaped. Now, a lot of people now are asking for the shape. It looks cool, it's edgy, it's just different, it's simple. The problem is that the open crown look is the highest. So, if a petite girl comes in here and she's looking for the shape, a lot of times she's just surprised at how high it is. Essentially, when you crease the top, center crease, that's called a center crease, when you do that, it lowers it. It brings it, from like up here to down there. So, if you like that look and it looks way too high, you might want to consider just doing only a crease. Or you could do a very soft crease, which makes it almost look open crown. You see what I'm doing? Pushing it out with my fingers on the inside. So this way we lowered the top just a little bit and still doesn't have the full creased look like that. Anyway, okay. So you got your open crown, you got your center crease. The next thing is the most popular shape, center crease pinch front. That's when we take the two sides and we just pinch them like this. Okay? You look at it from a bird's eye view and you make sure that they're symmetrical. You want them to be the same length, etc. Alright, I'm going to switch hats here right now. I'm going to use something a little bit softer. Okay, so boom, center crease, pinch front. That is your most common shape. Now this can be high, it could be low. It's very easy for us to bring this shape down. Somebody who's used to making crown shapes can sort of tuck it into itself, make it lower, and give you a center crease that's really low. The problem is that sometimes the inside bumps into your head, and you have to do things like make a little bump inside there for your head to get enough clearance to go low, like that. It's doable, but you got to go to somebody who knows what they're doing if you want them to give you a center crease and just make it lower. Generally, the most standard way to lower a hat in shape is to take that center crease and turn it into something else. Most commonly a teardrop. It's when you bring the whole back down. You see what I did? The back is slanting down. Now I did that a little over exaggerated just to show you what I mean. Front is high, the back is low. So let's try it again. Center crease, pinch front. Alright, now I want to teardrop it. I want to bring the whole back of the hat down, like a slant. So, go down, tuck it into itself. Put the head inside the hat. I'm going to use this form, make that little bubble for your head. Alright, so here it is. Front, side, back. That's the film noir gangster look. What you do is that you put it on one of these hat forms, like a little hat stretcher, something pig-shaped, and you neaten it up. You make the lines more graceful, and then it looks like a teardrop. You see the shape? Boom, teardrop. Okay. So a teardrop's going to be shape number 3. All right. It's got got that old-time slouchy look. Go back to your center crease now. Your center crease has got a few varieties too. I showed you could go from a center crease to a teardrop. Here's an old-time, maybe a late 60s, 70s thing. We call this kind of more of an uptown crease. This is called the deuce trace. This is when you make swirls. So what you're doing is you're taking the hat and you're making it look like there's just swirls in it. See if I could show you there. See that? And there are different versions of the deuce trace too. One of them is when I take this pinch here and I opened it up. So it looks like it's just kind of swirling into itself, kind of. That's a cool, lot of, Superfly type hats, 70s player era hats were shaped like this way. Remember those fuzzy hats? Another way to do it is the deuce trace with the pinch. So then I'll show you a good way to do the pinch for the deuce trace. You give it a nice, graceful looking pinch, something like that. You see, so that it almost looks like an X now. One line there, one line there. Deuce trace with a pinch. Alright, this is definitely advanced stuff here. Is it hard to do? No, it's not that hard to do, but not that many people want to walk around with a deuce trace these days. This is something that you might see at the Grammy Awards if, like, one guy has a really cool hat shop he buys from, You may never see this crease anywhere. Actually, it's definitely a early 70s inner city kind of a thing. Okay, you got your deuce trace, two different varieties. Let's go from there. How about we do the old pork pie? All right, the pork pie is when we bring everything flat. So we tuck it into itself, make it flat, put it right on the hat form, trace around. I like to turn the hat upside down on the table. Alright, boom. Haha. There's your pork pie. So what have we got so far? We've got your open crown. We've got your center crease pinch front. We've got your deuce trace. We've got the teardrop. We've got the pork pie. That's 6. Alright, and the next one is another version of a pork pie. I would say it's called the diamond. So we'll start again, center crease. The diamond is, instead of doing a teardrop per se, okay, the old teardrop shape, it's going to have 4 corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we take the back and we turn that into a point as well. Like that, see? I'm pulling out with my thumbs, making angles, and then here, another angle, see? The diamond. So you make a makeshift diamond with your hands, you put it on the hat form, or you can put it on your head, and you just let something press up that little bubble. This all has to be done while the hat is being steamed, though, okay? You want to make all these shapings with wet, steamed hats. Don't do it dry like I'm doing now. You're not going to get great shapes, and you're going to get lots of wrinkles and stuff. Anyway, okay, that's a lousy diamond because I'm doing it upside down. Alright. The old diamond. Diamond pork pie. If I had a little steam, I could do a cleaner diamond. Alright, after your diamond, what is that, 7? Let's go to this bigger open crown hat here. Alright, this will be maybe, you'd call this a western or cowboy hat crease. This is what we call the cattleman crease. I've heard this called the 3-finger crease too, because you've got 1, 2, 3 like that. 1, 2, 3. Alright, cattleman crease is sort of your stereotypical Marlboro man cowboy hat, big white oil guy, the spurs and the suit and stuff. That's your classic cowboy hat, rancher. Oh, that's another name for this, the rancher. Because it's what a rancher would wear. You've got a cattleman, rancher, these all, I guess, have purposes, these working shapes for different types of cowboy hats. Okay, your cattleman crease. Here's another Western hat that's kind of a little bit more exaggerated, but very fun. I've heard this one called the Gus, or also the Tom Mix, which are actually two slightly different creases, but they're so similar that they're often called the same. This is when one side is as high as you can make it, the back, and the other side, the front, is as low as you can make it, basically. So what you do is you start with a very low crease in the front, and you keep the top as high as you can, and then you pinch the sides. This is the famous 10-gallon hat. Looks something like this. Did I do a good job? Okay, not a great job. Again, these you need steam for these hats shapes, but you get the basic idea. That's your 10-gallon hat, otherwise known as the Gus, also known as, aka, the Tom Mix. Alright, it's not the best, but then again, this is not the right crown to do this kind of shape. You need a very tall crown Western hat to do those kind of things. Alright.